So the NBA season is now officially over. I'd like to say congratulations to the Golden State Warriors in winning their second title in 3 years. Um, Last year, of course, they fell up a little bit short with their historical records for wins, winning 73 games, but falling short in Game 7. This year, they redeemed themselves by basically breezing through the playoffs with only one blemish, one loss on their record. Now, the topic that I'd like to discuss today is just do you think that KD's ring is tainted by him joining a team that was already set up to be one of the all-time great teams ever put together? That were just a few minutes away from winning the title again last year. Do you think that somehow taints his reign? Absolutely not. Am I one of those people who think that it was a bad look or a bad decision for KD to go team up with the team that just last year, the year before, knocked them out of the playoffs when they had a chance to beat them? Do I fault him for that? No, absolutely not. Um, what do I think about this whole notion of super teams? People are starting to think like this big three and super team started with LeBron going to Miami Heat and then Chris Bosh going to the Miami Heat and forming the big three. Just prior to that, the Celtics had, a big three, if you would, or a big, with with Pierce, KG, Ray Allen, and then if you want to throw in Rondo, because Rondo at that time was one of the better point guards in the league, upcoming point guards in the league. They had a big four, but there have been plenty of teams with a good assembly of talent before even the Celtics team and before the Heat team. Look at the Lakers teams and the Celtics teams of the 80s. There's a reason why they have all those championships and why they have all those Hall of Fame players. Those teams had Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer on the roster. The only difference is that it was usually the general manager that either drafted the players or made a trade for the players themselves. The general manager, the organization, they were instrumental in putting the team together by building it that way. And Golden State, for the most part, their team, besides KD, was in-house. Guys that they drafted, Steph Curry coming out of Davidson. There were some doubts about him, of course, about his size and did he have enough dribbling ability in the NBA and strength to consistently get off his shot. Klay Thompson, I'm a huge basketball guy, but I didn't know not much about Klay Thompson when he was coming into the league. Now, Draymond, I saw him play a lot at Michigan State because Michigan State's always on TV, being that program usually is one of the better programs with Tom Izzo. Um, so I mean, I did get the opportunity to see him play a lot, but no, I don't fault KD for joining the Golden State Warriors, just as I didn't fault LeBron from leaving the Cavs the first time to go to the Miami Heat. Now, the way they handled that, KD didn't hold a press conference, of course, or I'm taking my challenge to South Beach and we're going to win, not one, not two speech or whatever, etc. We all remember that. But, these days, the players, they have more power with the collective bargaining agreement. And I don't fault them for that. Usually it's always management and ownership making these decisions. A guy could be in a city playing for a team that he enjoys. He's got his family there. He's deeply rooted and connected to the community, doing community service, loves playing for a team, and just get a text or a phone call at some odd time. Hey, you're going to be traded. So when players get together and they decide that, hey, I want to go play with such and such for the purpose of trying to win a ring, I mean, and I don't fault him at all. And that's not a knock on for me, with KD did what was best for him. You know, we all know about the so-called drama between him and Russ, because supposedly that he didn't actually sit down and have a conversation with him, um, and tell him that he was leaving. Maybe he should, but and the drama that was played up with in the media or whatever is what's what KD said, about the animosity between them, and also the Oklahoma fans, some of them being bitter, with the cupcake pictures, whatever, some of the harsh remarks and etc. Made about KD. Even though KD was beloved while he was there, he was involved in the community while he was there. You would hear stories about KD even playing video games with kids. The kids coming over to play video games with him. But you know, athletes have the right, just like we have the right. If you're working at a job and you want to go better yourself or go to another situation, that's your decision. So I know a lot of people, we get so tied up in the teams that we grew up rooting for, in our hometown teams, etc., whatever. But KD made the best decision for him. Some people viewed it as he would be riding Steph Curry's coattails, etc., because at that time Steph was the unanimous MVP. But you saw that KD throughout these playoffs was instrumental. He made big shots when they needed them, and my hat's off to LeBron. I'm not a LeBron hater at all, and there's plenty of them out there. Now, Michael Jordan was the reason I started watching basketball, in the late 80s, like 1988, 1989, whatever, versus it was what, Detroit and Chicago. I was flipping through the channels. I think that was like my first exposure to watching NBA basketball, and I was like, who's this guy? And it was Michael Jordan. They were playing the Pistons, and I've been hooked ever since. So because of that, I don't think somebody, because Jordan was the reason I started watching basketball, I don't think anybody can ever surpass him as the greatest of all time. Kobe, in my opinion, is the closest carbon copy as far as the similarity in their games. We all know that Magic. I mean, we all know that LeBron says that his game is more comparable to Magic Johnson's game, because he likes to get everybody involved, and that was the early criticism of LeBron, was that he didn't take the big shot. Yes, LeBron is 3-5 now in finals appearance, but you can't knock LeBron. For all those people out there who are LeBron haters, did you see how the guy performed? Every time, every series that he's been in the playoffs, he leaves it all on the floor. He had another amazing series, averaging a triple double. So kudos to LeBron. All you LeBron haters out there, you need to just have a seat and recognize what you're seeing. You're seeing one of the greatest players of all time. Some people might by the time he's done, some people might give him the nod as the greatest of all time over Jordan. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Sit back and enjoy the greatness. As for KD, and the Golden State Warriors, the rest of the Warriors, congratulations once again. And this is probably truly the start of a dynasty, because who's going to beat the Warriors? This is going to be an interesting offseason, as the owners and the players around the league are going to have to sit down and try to figure out, hey, how can we beat this team? Now with the changes in the collective bargaining agreement, a player has more incentive to stay with the original team that drafted them, especially if they make it one of those all NBA teams. So this should be interesting the next couple of years, how things pan out. But I think we're going to be back here again next year, seeing Golden State versus Cleveland, Part 4. Okay, that's it. I know this is a longer video than usual, but thanks, guys. Let me know what your opinions are about the Warriors, the state of the NBA. If you have any comments, please leave them. If you like the video, hit the like button at the bottom, and as always, subscribe. Thank you. Have a good day.